Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. All right, not so great news for Warrior fans this morning. Not so good news for y'all. Gary Payton II is going to be out indefinitely in these playoffs with a fractured elbow. We discussed that Dylan Brooks did a flagrant foul that got him ejected from the game, but unfortunately pulled our guy GP2 out for basically the whole playoffs. So that's a tough blow, not only for just wanting to stay healthy if you're the Warriors, but I think you need him for this series. And when I say need, it doesn't mean the Golden State Warriors can't win it without him, but it does mean that it makes it significantly more difficult for them to play defense. It makes it significantly more important for other guys to make up for the slack on the defensive end, particularly in the passing lanes and doing things that GP2 does, which is pretty much everything for you. He's everywhere all the time. He's super athletic. He has all the juice in the world to keep going, and that's exactly what a group of guys that have some older veterans leading the way need on that Memphis floor against that team. So I look at them and I say, okay, the Golden State Warriors, you know, it's not like you cut the head off the snake or nothing like that, but you just chipped off a great deal of their armor. Gary Payton II provided things that they're not going to find anywhere else on the roster, and that's tenacity and defensive prowess on the wing at that level. I think they got talented wings. Don't get it twisted. I look at Otto Porter is going to have to pick it up for him. Of course, he will. Jonathan Kuminga. I think about the bigger guys who are going to be there, but not the smaller ones like Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. Obviously, they're going to play. Jordan Poole is kind of banged up, and I'm noticing that he's playing through it, and he seems to be doing pretty fine off the bench. But I don't look at him as the guy that you're looking to clamp people down defensively, even though he's very good defensively. It comes down to you just want him to focus more so on being a smooth, silky shooter that he is. You just look at the rest of that roster. You say, okay, who's going to fill in? I've been screaming the name Moses Moody for the last couple weeks. They haven't called his number. I think it's something they should probably look to do now. Because the only reason why he wasn't getting those minutes is because GP2 was getting them. So now, if things make sense, he should be getting those minutes. Maybe coach goes with Bielitsa, maybe giving him a little more minutes since I haven't seen him much in these playoffs. He's a bigger body that can shoot the ball some, kind of helped him with the size in the Memphis situation, stretching the floor against Memphis, stuff like that. But as if they need help shooting the three, even though they shot it poorly last night, not from a systematic standpoint do they need to add more three-point shooting to this roster. What they need is to get what GP2 does out there for them. There were times when they'd start him against certain matchups. He's their, Tony Allen, their Marcus Smart. And so if he's not out there, you can clearly see that they're gonna have problems. They're gonna have problems where they otherwise didn't. It's just like anything else. When you have your pieces, there are no holes. It's like I got what I got. There's no hole over there because we have the piece. But when you remove that piece, now you create that hole. You know what I mean? And I think that's what just happened there for the Golden State Warriors. They got a little bit older. They got a little bit slower. They got a little less deep. And they got a little less effective in the transition. A little less effective defensively. There's a lot of things that just happened to them just by removing that one role player who we know plays really, really well for them. So that really sucks, because even if they were to get out of this series, don't think for 1 second that they're going to have a good time going up against the Phoenix Suns, of whom I assume they're going to play. I don't think Dallas wins that series. I don't think that's going to be a good situation for them without GP2 for the same exact reasons. Only more so because I look at the Phoenix Suns as a better team than Memphis Grizzlies, as I'm sure most people do. So, you hope he can get back for these playoffs. You hope that fractured elbow can heal fast, and that he can get back in shape, because he's going to get out of shape, obviously. It's just missing time. He's going to get out of game shape. So even if he comes back in these playoffs, it's logical to assume that he's not going to be exactly who he's been, which is bad for your team in the event that you decide to lean on him and he's not in shape. But that's way down the road, assuming he's able to come back, and that's a lot of steps away from where we are right now. He's out. He's out, and you probably don't see him for the rest of the playoffs because of the fact that it's a broken bone of some sort. Fractured, whatever, it's broken. And that requires healing, maybe a cast, maybe not, I don't know. But he ain't going to be out there. So it's devastating for the Golden State Warriors, and now the conversation shifts to the person that hurt him. Obviously, we saw Grayson Allen have a similar situation where he was suspended 1 game for hurting Alex Caruso. So I would imagine that would be the consistent way to play this, giving him 1 game in the playoffs for doing this. However, if they don't, I'm not going to look at that as crazy. But if they give him more than 1 game, I may look at that as a little crazy. At the end of the day, there should be some consequence for this. It was a hard, unnecessary foul, in my humble opinion. You don't come down on a guy's head from behind while he's going up for a dunk. There are ways to snatch a guy out of the sky without doing it in the way that he did it. And it resulted in him being out for the playoffs. You hurt the player and you hurt the opponent in a way that isn't within the lines of basketball. So that has to have some consequences. That has to have some consequences. But I don't think they should look to do more to him than they did to Grayson Allen. I don't. I know this is, and not to mention that the stakes are higher. So the pressure for these players to do things like this is more so than it would be in a regular season. So I would imagine they would be the right to take that into account as well. So that's my humble opinion. Now, so that's pretty much it, I guess. I don't want to get into a whole spiel about this series, really. There'll be other videos for that. But GP2 out, fractured elbow indefinitely for these playoffs. BDL 44, thank y'all for watching.